What's going on, guys? Creepstar here, and today we're not going to be talking about the gameplay. The only thing I will say is that I do terrible in the beginning of this game. I just get spanked around, but like I said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And after a while of getting smacked around, I clamp down and end up making a good comeback and getting a good score and helping out my teammates. So anyways, the topic I want to get into today is first day of high school or college, because of course yesterday or today as I'm recording, but anyways, was the first day of going back to school for mostly everybody. If not, it was you finished with your first week. But if it was your first day of high school, college, we're going to start off with high school first, because I think it's more difficult going into high school than it is to college, because by the time you go into college, you already had your senior year of high school. You've dealt with all those, partying, relationships, all that drama. So it's pretty much an easier transition, in my opinion, than going from junior high to high school, because of course junior high, you guys are all thinking, oh, what's high school gonna be like, and you guys start talking about it and picturing these big old scenarios of what's it gonna be like when you get there. And you guys are gonna be pretty maybe pretty excited, and for the most part really nervous. For me, when I was in high school, I remember that first week, that first day actually, it was a little bit nerve-wracking, thinking you're going to a high school, a lot more kids. You hear about things that go on in high school, and maybe some fake, maybe some dramatized, but nonetheless you hear stories, and you guys might get a little bit of nervous jitterbugs in you, but it's nothing to be worried about, because it's pretty much school. I mean, you're going to be entering with a class, for most likely from your middle school, people and you guys are going to be entering that freshman class together, and of course it's going to be a little bit intimidating with all the other students. You got your sophomores, your juniors, your seniors that already did their freshman year and probably feel entitled to be above the freshmen. But believe me, guys, get through that first year, and you're going to have that same feeling your next year, your sophomore year, and going on to your senior year. And not to lie, it's kind of a good feeling. It's just something that everybody goes through, and it's part of life. But anyways, that first day of school, new campus, you're trying to figure out where your classes are. You're trying to be all dressed up and looking good your first day of school, and you got all these things running through your head, because once you get into high school, it starts getting to those, the cliques, sports, dating, all this little stuff, and it's a big thing when you're in high school, and it can be really, really nerve-wracking. But you just gotta think to yourself, it's just school, more people, it's not a big deal. I mean, for me, my first week of school, I of course hung out with my core group of friends that I hung out with through most of middle school, and once you get into it, you kind of realize that it's not that big of a deal. Of course there's going to get into that, the whole dating and this and that, but for the most part, it's not that big of a deal, guys. And that's just something you guys got to remember. If you guys go into that mindset thinking, it's just like middle school, just a bigger school, more people, but in the main picture of everything, it's the same. You guys will, eventually transition through high school, and it's not going to be that bad of a time. So actually, high school's a really fun time, and you guys should enjoy it. And so yeah, don't take it too serious. Everything's gonna be cool. And just one random note, just because I like throwing out random things like that. I can't remember if it was my first week of high school. I'm pretty sure it was the second week. On a Monday, I believe it was. It was actually the day 9/11 happened. Right before we were taking off to leave to walk to school, and I just decided to throw that out there, because that's something I'm going to remember from my freshman year, was 9/11 happening early morning before we got to school. And by the time we did get to school, at first we had thought, look, it's this idiot ran in, crashed into a building. Who knows, we were young. we're just, not really thinking about terrorists and all that things. But man, I'm mumbling right here. It's like 3 in the morning. But anyways, and once we got to school and found out the craziness of it, it was pretty serious. And yeah, it's just something I'm always gonna remember from my freshman year. But anyways, going into college, for me, I didn't end up going into college right after high school. I was working for a few years before I ended up going back to college. And to me, I think it's just a little bit easier to transition to, because after you've done your senior year of high school, I mean, you pretty much are who you are. You've gone through the partying, relationships, going through all the cliques and all that drama. And I mean, college is basically, like I said, the same thing when you're going from middle school to high school. It's a bigger campus. Of course, in the beginning it's going to be weird trying to figure out your classes and your schedule and doing all that good stuff. But I mean, college is pretty chill. I mean, there shouldn't be too much nerves unless you're moving out of state, maybe going to a dorm, and you're used to living at home. But for some people, that might be a good thing. If you're one of those people that have been wanting to get away from the house you lived in all the way up until high school, maybe that's going to be really exciting for you. But if you're somebody that doesn't like the change and you guys are moving out of state and don't really like being away from home, then of course that's going to be really nerve-wracking for you. But besides that, it's just like high school plus another 2, 3, 4 years, whatever you end up staying at in college. And it's pretty cool. I mean, it's much more easier to me than high school. I mean, of course, the classes are a little bit more difficult, but you get to pick your schedule, and that's really nice. You pick when you're going to class, but of course, you got to get to your classes to get full credit. But I mean, you guys know what I mean. You guys got to pick your schedule to work around what you like to do, and I think it's just much easier, and I really do enjoy it. So transitioning to college shouldn't be that hard of a thing. And just think about it this way, partying, more girls, you're an adult. I mean, what more can you ask for? But anyways, guys, hopefully this video helped you out. I kind of ran out of time. Wish I would have been able to talk a little bit more about each subject, but who knows, maybe in a later video we'll go ahead and do that. So anyways, guys, there's a link to the previous videos you might have missed. There's a link to Twitter and Instagram, and click subscribe if you guys are new. I'd really appreciate it. And until next time, guys, I'll see you guys later. Peace.